Richard Gasquet. And the first match up tonight, Colin, both had good starts to the years, haven't they, Alex and Jeremy Chardy?
Yeah, they have. I think we've got two great matches to look forward to in this night session. Nice quick court in Dubai, and we've got contrasting styles in both the matches. Minaur, the hustler, so exciting to watch against the power of Chardy, and then Sir Vollier Pospisil, he'll go up against Fucsovic in great form. So settle in for a really entertaining night session from Dubai.
Here they are.
We are ready for the first match of today's evening session on centre court at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships. Please welcome first Alex de Minaur of Australia. Alex de Minaur is making his debut in Dubai and is our 9th seed here. He has 4 ATP Tour singles titles and reached the quarterfinals of the US Open at the age of 21. Currently ranked number 23 in the world, it is Alex de Minaur. And his opponent in the second round is Jeremy Chardy of France. Jeremy Chardy is making his 3rd appearance at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships. He has been in 2 semi-finals already in 2021. He is a French Open doubles finalist and has won 1 ATP Tour singles title. Please welcome Jeremy Chardy.
Yes, the world's number 53, just outside the top 50 these days, age of 34, became a father this time last year, so what with the complications of the pandemic and taking a bit of time to stay at home to welcome the birth of his baby boy. He didn't play a lot of tennis in 2020, but it's been a fine start to 2021 for the Frenchman.
Gentlemen, good luck. Normal stuff you know about it, just a few reminders. We have electronic line calling, so please, if you want a challenge, say something. And we have a TV changeover, shot clock. And Jeremy, can you take the grey box for the towels, please? And then actually take the black one. Any question? Okay, this is head and this is tail. ATP. ATP, this one. Yeah. Alex? Receive. Have a good one.
de Minaur winning the toss, he will receive. Second round action, this one. Our second night session of the week at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships. Alex de Minaur, the number 9 seed, the only seeded player in action today, going up against the Frenchman, Jeremy Chardy. This is where they are in the draw. They're in the top half of this draw. It's a pretty big draw for a 500, and it's a strong draw as well. And you can see the winner of this match, should I say, will go up against another Australian, perhaps Alexei Popyrin or Karen Khachanov, the number 8 seed. They're in the same quarter as Denis Shapovalov and Hubert Urkacz, incidentally, same half as Dominic Thiem. He's our number 1 seed this week. Made a fast start, didn't he? It was a slightly different look to the schedule, Colin. Early doors, of course, with all the complications. Delray Beach event, which is normally held in February, that was held in the first week on the tour, and they added an extra 250 in Antalya down in southern Turkey, and it was the Demon who did the business.
Yeah, he'll be glad that they added that one to the calendar. Went over to Turkey and got the job done. Starting your year with, well, a couple of wins is always nice, but 5 in a row and going all the way to a title, what a start that is for him. He has always started his seasons well, got his first ATP title in the last edition of the Sydney Tour event. Of course, that now changed to the ATP Cup as of the start of the 2020 season, or is incorporated into that ATP Cup, if you like. But yeah, really quick start to the season for, well, a really quick player. Such an incredible mover on the court, always so busy, always trying to make things happen, and always exciting to watch. Young, still in his career, but $4.8 million amassed, and that number will continue to grow.
Yeah, 4 titles, you will have noticed from the graphic. 3 in 2019, Sydney, Atlanta, and Zhuhai. added to that trophy in Antalya to kick off the season. So he's in good form, he'll be feeling confident, and he's always got a hot shot or two up the sleeve, hasn't he, as Alex de Minaur, that speed around the courts. But this is a guy who can be dangerous, and he reminded us of that recently in Rotterdam. I was working that week, very impressed with Jeremy Chardy's tennis at the age of 34. I feel it's a fair comment to say, Colin, maybe you might think I'm being slightly unkind, but I wasn't quite sure what to expect from Jeremy this season, with only playing a handful of matches last year, with all the complications, becoming a father in a different chapter of your life. But he's been red hot so far, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't think that's unfair in any way. That remained to be seen what kind of form Chardy would bring to the court this season. Becoming a father, as you say, that can change your perspective. He's 34 now, but he's recently changed coaches, now working with Philip Wagner, and you know, that will or that shows to me that he's still ambitious, still wants to get better and improve. And you know, he has a big, powerful game, Jeremy Chardy. Huge serve, huge forehand, and the foundation for it. He's a good athlete, and well, like I say, this is going to be an interesting match to see the contrast in styles. You can see the head-to-head. It's their first tour meeting. They have got one challenger meeting. That was in the final of the Surbiton Challenger in 2018 on grass, which Chardy won in 3 sets. But first at tour level, and like I say, you've got Chardy, all-out attack, a power player, and you've got de Minaur, the quintessential counter-puncher, incredibly quick around the court, skillful. So this should be an entertaining match to watch.
Yeah, really should, to kick off our night session here in Dubai. First of 2 contests this evening. This one a second round match. So Alex de Minaur, the number 9 seed, and Jeremy Chardy both looking for a place in what is the last 16 in the top half of the draw. Whoever comes through this will play either Popirin or Khachanov. The majority of the second round matches will be played tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day around the grounds once more. Coming up after this one, Vasek Pospisil will face Marton Fucsovics. That will be the last first round contest in the draw to be completed. De Minaur won the toss and elected to receive, so Chardy to get us underway. Carthy, our MC on site, mentioned that he'd made a couple of semis already. He played in Antalya as well. He's in the opposite half to de Minaur, lost to Alexander Bublik in the semis in 3 sets. Also made semi-finals at the Murray River Open, one of 2 ATP 250 events just before the Australian Open in the bubble down in Melbourne. Dan Evans in the semis, but 3 good wins against Cilic, Gilles Simon, and Taylor Fritz that week. It's a good move from Alex de Minaur.
Yeah, that's the kind of move that Dan Evans, you mentioned, able to beat Chardy and actually won that week, would make. So quick to recognise that Chardy was going to be defending there, and took off, headed for the net. Convincing finish as well. Got a good transition game, de Minaur. It's the first time he's played in Dubai, the Australian, and I think he's really going to like the conditions. the reason I say that, he is a counter-puncher for me. You know, kind of all-court player, but, you know, at times he soaks up the pressure, doesn't have the most powerful of games, certainly compared to a Chardy, but I think he's most effective when he's got a bit of help from the court and the conditions. If it's too slow for him, he struggles to hurt opponents at times, but conditions like this, I think he can rush them, he can move forward, use his full skill set, and he's still got the speed to defend on a court like this. Double fault from Chardy there. He's made a few tweaks to the serve, hasn't he? Ahead of the season, just abbreviated the take back. Used to drop the racket down pretty low. That meant the toss had to be very high to give himself time to catch up, if you like. It's now more abbreviated, slightly lower toss.
The perfect start for the Australian. Early break.
Very sharp, wasn't it? Looking to make things happen. I'd be delighted to make that breakthrough early on. Really sets the tone for the match. He's still on a march on Chardy.
Just to complete the picture, Chardy's recent good form. Made the quarterfinals in Rotterdam as well. Of course, that was the opening ATP 500 event of the season. Came through qualifying there. He saved a couple of match points to beat Hugo Humbert, fellow Frenchman. It was a good win. 6 in the third, and he took out David Goffin 6-6. That was the week after Goffin had won the title down in Montpellier. So Goffin was in good form. He took Rublev to 3 sets as well. Gives you an indication of the level he's been able to produce. He's been the king of the tie breaks as well, hasn't he, Jeremy Chardy? Or maybe it's Alexei Popyrin. We need to get them on court.
Yeah, Popyrin. Right in thinking Popyrin was 10-2 coming into yesterday's match. We called and he won 1 there.
We gave him the title yesterday. We can't change our minds already, but Chardy's been equally as impressive. That's the significant.
Well, Popyrin's got the edge, hasn't he? He's 11-2, Chardy 10-2. So Chardy's got to win at least 1 here if he wants that title back.
Produced an incredible hot shot in Rotterdam, Alex de Minaur. If you didn't see that against his good friend John Millman. Epic rally, and he was way out of court, had no right even to get his racket on the ball. It was classic de Minaur.
You see it well into the 40. It was 44.
Yeah, I think it was 44. Yeah,
4 shots, and
he was miles out of court, wasn't he?
I tell you, I mean, 44 shots of going for it, moving the ball around the court. I think I probably would have been stretched it off after the first 20. And there he is on the 44th blow of the point, hitting an incredible winner down the line. John Millman just dropped his racket. He couldn't believe it. Nice slice there from de Minaur, deep in the court. Looks in incredible physical condition, doesn't he? Fit as a fiddle.
So a good start from the number 9 seed. Looks sharp. There's that sort of energy about him, doesn't he, on the tennis court? Must be an intimidating opponent. You must step on court feeling like you've got to really bring your A game to put him to bed.
That's just the speed he has around the court and the intensity. Yeah, it creates that feeling that you know you've got to produce quality shots and forces you to overplay at times. It's the case there, you know, against a player that maybe doesn't move as well. Chardy just roll that into the open space, but he feels he has to hit the ball a bit bigger, go a bit tighter to the lines, and as a result, it's going to create a few more errors. Chardy yet to win a point on the first serve. Usually his strong suit. The credit for that has to go to Minaur, doesn't it? Sharp on the returns.
Big game for Chardy. He's got to just knuckle down and come through this service game, you would imagine. Double break. Minaur in this kind of mood might have to forget about this opening set. Good dig from Minaur.
Yeah, he's such a smart player as well, isn't he? I love the way he was directing the attack into the Chardy strength there, into the forehand, which softened up the backhand for the approach. He did well to cover the net, as you say, in the end, but very intelligent tennis from Alex de Minaur.
Chance for a double break then. Has missed it. And perhaps that was because of the court coverage of this guy, the speed around the court, forcing Chardy perhaps just to go a little too close to the lines. And it has been a razor-sharp start from the Australian. 3-love.
Yeah, very, very sharp start from the Demon. It's the last thing you want when you're a player like Jeremy Chardy with a big booming serve, is for it to be consistently coming back and with interest as well. You want to feel like that serve is going to go past the opponent. It's going to, you know, be easy pickings when it does come back into play, and it's just not been the case at all. Minaur has been very, very sharp and well worth his 3-love and double break lead here. What a start for him. Quicker on the court, quicker out the blocks.
#23 in the world, Alex de Minaur. 22 years of age. He's been just inside the top 20 before, 18 in the world. That was late October 2019. means business so far this evening. Double break already, 3-0. Really good weeks after the tour restarted. Second half of last year, of course, after things got going again at the Western and Southern Open. Relocated Masters 1000 that took place in the New York bubble. That event didn't go according to plan, but had a good run at the US Open. More good stuff from the Australian. He's just everywhere right now.
This is just brilliant tennis from Minaur. Such a proactive court position right up on the baseline, taking every opportunity to move forwards. He's now won 3 out of 4 at the net.
It was a quarter-final at Flushing Meadows, incidentally. That was his first major quarter-final. Another nice milestone for a young player. Make that breakthrough on the biggest stage. Wins over Gasquet, Hadjanov, Pospisil in the last 16, eventually losing to Dominic Thiem, but a really good fortnight. And a good week in Antwerp as well, a little later in the season. Over in Belgium, indoors, made the final there. So he's played some good tennis since the restart, in spurts, I suppose. US Open run, Antwerp, Antalya.
There's Minaur's team coach, Adolfo Gutierrez on the left. He'll be very happy with the start. Looks like he's trying to keep himself warm this evening session. Chardy needs to hold the serve here. He's got to just steady the ship, doesn't he? Well, Minaur is just taking a leaf out of his mentor, Leighton Hewitt's book here, isn't he? Every return going back into play, he's everywhere on the court, taking his opportunities to move forward. This is a quality performance.
We have the challenge system back in place this week. You've been watching tennis the last few weeks or so. We've all got used to Hawkeye Live, haven't we? The automated system, which meant that there haven't been any challenges. Players just have to accept the call with the automatic system. But of course, we've got human beings on courts like the old days.
Nicely done by Chardy. He's long enough in the tooth that he won't be panicking here. 34 years of age. He's played well over 500 matches on the tour. He's seen it all before. Won't be the first time that an opponent's had a fast start against him. He's got to get through this game, steady the ship, as I say, and get back to work. He'll recognise that Minaur's level will be likely to drop off at some stage. He's going to try and hang with him until it does.
Well, he got there in the end, but it's the kind of point you need to get used to if you're playing Alex de Minaur. Didn't come back once, but twice before he finally was able to head to the chair, and he's finally got that scoreboard moving. Still trails by the double break though, 4-1 first set. Former world number 25, Jeremy Chardy, back in 2013. That was his career high. Just the one singles title on the clay back in 2009. That was in Stuttgart. Couple more singles finals. Same season down in Joburg, outdoor hard courts, and also made a grass court final. That was 2018 in Hertogenbosch over in the Netherlands. Things going nicely then for Alex de Minaur so far. Rock solid so far. Just the 2 unforced errors from the Aussie. No messing.
Yeah, he's right on it, isn't he, de Minaur? He's in a hurry. If Chardy doesn't start to match the intensity, match the level, this one could be quick. That's Colm McLaughlin there on the right, isn't it? CEO of Dubai Duty Free, great supporter of not only this tournament but tennis and sport in general.
Yeah, he's been part of the event from the very early days. Back in '93, I was reading an interview with him talking about the first events with the temporary seating, 3,000 seats around the centre court, back at the very first staging of the events, how this tournament has grown to one of the very best.
Yeah,
particularly among the players, isn't it? It's won so many player awards, this Dubai 500 event.
It has, yeah. Dubai Duty Free Championships, of course. The Dubai Duty Free Tennis Stadium we're playing in, as you say. They built this over the years, added to the facility. Players always like going there. Everything on site, of course, it needs to be at the moment with the bubble environment, but the aviation club where this tournament is held is adjoined to the hotel. just too hot to handle from de Minaur there. The ball perhaps just skidding off the service line.
Well, you won't see too many sets quicker than this on the ATP Tour. 23 minutes. Set point.
Just looking at Colton McLaughlin's bio here, it says he was the former club captain of the Emirates Golf Club and the Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club. Only man to have been captain of both clubs. I've got to get his number, Lee. Myself a couple of games out there in Dubai.
I was about to say, surely you've played one of those, haven't you, Colin? Have the clubs made it to Dubai in the past?
They've been around the Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club, they have, yeah. Special place.
Extends his stay in this opening set, saves the set point. But Alex de Minaur has been highly impressive so far during these opening 24 minutes. Still with a double break. And he will look to finish the job. 5-2. Dubai Duty Free involved in not just tennis, are they, this part of the world? They're supporters of golf as well. Racing, rugby sevens, they're involved in the air show over in Dubai. It certainly feels like a popular spot. Listening to some of the interviews, some of the guys, I think especially at the moment, that have been able to provide probably the best possible scenario with all the complications the players are having to endure at the moment with this sort of venue hotel bubble. It's a nice environment for the guys. Looking to finish this one off then, after just 25 minutes on the clock. Got the double break early. Caught Chardy cold. Serving for the set with the new balls, 5-2.
Well, as soon as de Minaur got the double break, it felt as if this set was essentially over. Chardy's done a good job just to post 2 holds of serve. He'll feel like he's in the match now, ready for the start of the second. What a second serve there from de Minaur. Brimming with confidence, isn't he? All areas of his game working very nicely.
Got him again out wide. Three aces in this game. Set point number 2. was a clean set of tennis from Alex de Minaur. Got off to a lightning fast start. And he didn't really take his foot off the pedal. Clearly in a ruthless mood this evening in Dubai. Just 27 minutes. He's taken the opening set, 6 games to 2.
A very tidy set of tennis from Alex de Minaur. He's been right on it from the word go tonight. So we can have a look at some of the stats, and talked about this being a slight contrast in game style, the power of Chardy against the counter-punching and all-court play of de Minaur, and it's been de Minaur that's been well on top. He's kept his unforced errors to a minimum, just the 3, and he's matched Chardy for winners, coming forward nicely, winning 3 out of 4. He's drawn 12 unforced from Chardy, just with the number of balls he's getting back into play on return in particular. Chardy hasn't been able to power through him with the serve and forehand as he likes to do with the opponents, winning just 50% of first serve points. The Frenchman, that's a concerning statistic, as is the 80% of second serve points won for de Minaur. So showing there the dominance that the Australian has had.
So let's see whether Jeremy Chardy can start to work his way into this match. It's been pretty one-sided so far.
It's a big game for him, isn't it? It was broken his first 2 service games of the opening set. He's got to stay on level terms with de Minaur in this second set, create some kind of scoreboard pressure. Forehand right onto the line there, but once again de Minaur, so many returns going back into play, forcing Chardy to come up with a shot of this quality to win the point. He's going to challenge it. I think it has caught the line. Certainly looked like it did. game yet, Chardy. Minaur would love to get this back to juice and try and find a way to break. Managed to do that, taking the return early. Just, it's a combination of things drawing that error, really. It's rushing him with the early return, but also just the speed he has, as we discussed in the first set, you know, to cover the space. Chardy feels like he has to go really big on that forehand, overcooking it. Dangerous times now for the Frenchman. Minaur making every single return, seemingly.
Feels like it, doesn't it? A better start was what was required. First set really was over so quickly, losing serve twice inside the opening 3 games. Plays a fair bit of doubles these days as well, Chardy, with his good friend Fabrice Martin. They're on the order of play for tomorrow. Over on court 2, they play Marcus Daniel and Philip Oswald. First round, busy day tomorrow. 4 match courts. "15 second round singles matches tomorrow."
This is the first of the second round encounters, isn't it? Still got 1 first round match to play.
Oh, it's too good.
Last remaining first round match is the one that follows this, Pospisil against Fucsovics. That really is so good from de Minaur, isn't it? Everything going in. He's not a big guy, but every ounce of weight in his body went into that shot.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, moving extremely well, isn't he? He's tactically so good with his movement, though. That's the key thing for me, Lee. It's not just about being fast. You know, there's no doubt de Minaur, if you put him into a sort of 30-40 meter sprint in a race, he would be quick. There's no doubt about it, but uses it in such a proactive fashion. You know, it's easy when you know you're quick and you're agile and you change direction well, that to use it reactively and end up deep in the court and you're just chasing balls all the time. He's proactive, like I say, always recognizing tactically when he can move forward up onto the baseline, take the ball on the rise, be quick, follow it into the net. Yes, there are times when he uses it to defend and slide and hustle. It's just, it's so impressive to watch. Just understands his game. He doesn't have the power to play from deep in the court. So he uses his strengths, his speed, his footwork, his agility to hurt opponents. Chardy certainly hasn't enjoyed it so far. That's one of the few returns that hasn't come back into play when Minaur's got a racket on it.
Almost hopped over.
Well, there's the evidence. Returns made. Look at that, 86% of first serve returns, and Chardy's not exactly bowling them in, is he? Regularly over 200 kilometers an hour, and it's incredible returning. Second serve stat a little bit low, but of course he's trying to do more with the second serve return.
Another good hold. Starting to establish himself in this match after a one-sided opening set. Has the lead, 2-1. Seven doubles titles. Had a good year in 2019, Chardy. 3 trophies, Rotterdam, Marseille, and on the clay in Estoril. That was the season he made the final in Paris, Roland Garros. That would have been a special fortnight for Jeremy. Disappointed to not quite get it done that year, but still, what an adventure that would have been in front of his French fans. Made a Masters 1000 final on the doubles court last autumn as well, over in Rome. Pictures from just outside the centre court. The Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships, the Aviation Club. It's the Irish Village, as it's known, just outside those staircases which lead into centre, around 5,000 capacity, normally bustling with fans, of course, this time of day. On any normal year at this tournament, without fans this year, sadly. Normally such a celebration of tennis, isn't it, these 2 weeks with the WTA events prior to the ATP tournament. He almost turned the point around. It was a really clever backhand from Chardy, that slice initially. Made the volley awkward for the Aussie. He's been so effective behind his first serve today so far, Minaur, when you look at some of his numbers. Just dropped 4 points behind his first serve, only 1 behind his second serve.
the wrong shot to go for Chardy, and he knows it. He played a quality point. Didn't really have the court position to play the drop shot. Went for it cross court as well, which the ball longer to travel in the air. So even if he'd made it, you'd think de Minaur with his speed would have been there easily. There's just a feeling like the match is back in the balance, isn't it? If Chardy could somehow break through here, be a very, very good job, because he was so far behind in the opening set, wasn't he? Completely out of the match.
Frustrating, 30-all. Got to look at the second serve.
He's got a bit of a look of a man possessed, doesn't he, de Minaur? He's just so fired up and motivated and focused. He's going places, isn't he?
Two apiece, just outside the top 20, as we mentioned, Colin. When the ranking system finally gets back to normal, reverts to the regular 12-month rolling ranking. You know where this is going, don't you? Where do you think he might be able to work himself to, and how does he go about that in terms of game development? It's good from the Frenchman this time, because there are so many good players inside the top 20, aren't there? It's difficult to get inside the top 20 initially, and then to move higher is such a tough challenge.
Yeah, it's really easy to band numbers around. I was chatting about this with Barry earlier on today. You know, we were discussing Yannick Sinner, and it's easy when you get a player like that to say, oh, he's a future world #1. You know, we said it was Zverev, and you know, but by definition, there's only space for 10 people in the top 10. You know, everyone wants to be there. And you could quickly say, oh, there's 30 of them out there that can be top 10 players, but you know, there's not room for them all. Certainly will be the goal for de Minaur. Having been top 20 already, 18 in the world, you know, he's got to look at, you know, someone like a Diego Schwartzman, you know, getting to 9 in the world. Why can he not go and do that in his career? So I would say top 10 is a realistic goal for de Minaur. It's going to take consistently good tennis. But the way he's looking, you know, this evening in this match, he's a guy, he's really focused, isn't he? We see Chardy's team there. There's doubles partner Fabrice Martin. I'm sure he's just taking tactical notes on his phone.
He's come through another service game, and it's been a decent response, really, when you think back to the one-sided nature of the opening set. That will have been at the top of the to-do list. On serve, 3-2.
Yeah, just to continue that discussion, like I say, I think top 10 would be the aim for de Minaur, and I think it's realistic. You know, he can play on majority of surfaces. I would say this would be, in my mind, close to his best surface, a relatively quick hard court. I could see him playing well on grass with the game he has, you know, the movement, the returns, the transition game, the flat ball strike. I think he's got to add to the serve. I think he has done that. The technique looks a bit tighter to me, a little bit more side on and getting a bit more pop and more on the second serve as a result. I think he can continue that work. he adds that, you know, just start to hold serve a little bit easier on average, more often. Got a great return game, but he's definitely a player that's going places.
It really feels like the tournament starts to gather momentum tomorrow when you cast your eye down the order of play sheet for Tuesday. Sensational lineup on centre court. Shapovalov, Struff. Rublev is a second matchup. He takes on Emil Rusevori. Night session will feature Nishikori up against Goffin. And Dominic Thiem, the top seed, gets his account open. He will take on the South African qualifier Lloyd Harris. Last match of the day. That's just one of 4 match courts. 2 o'clock local time on centre. We'll keep you across all the results around the grass. Some good matches around. Such a shame, isn't it? I was looking at this order of play, Colin, and thinking it's one of those days where it'd be fantastic to be a fan, isn't it? And try and get up close to, you know, like Court 2, Karatsev, Evans, that kind of match, the contrasting styles. Sadly, not the case this year, but we'll do our best to keep you across all the results tomorrow.
Yeah, a few high-profile names not here in Dubai this year, unfortunately, but it's still an incredibly stacked draw, isn't it, as always. And like you say, it's not just the big names inside this Dubai duty-free stadium tomorrow, all around the grounds. You look at the Court 1 schedule even, you know, you've got Gasky, Hurkacz, Popyrin, Khachanov, the 8th seed, Ebden against Bautista Agut, finalist in Doha last week. Taylor Fritz, Basilashvili winner in Doha. Fritz, an incredibly exciting player. And finishing with Davidovich Fokina against Krajinovic. So, I mean, it's quality tennis all around.
Yannick Sinner over on Court 3. Simply too good. Just waited, didn't he, for the right ball.
Under pressure as well at 30 all. Yeah, we discussed in the last game, didn't we? De Minaur, can he go in the rankings? Sinner, is he a future world #1? It's been a significant day in the ATP rankings, hasn't it? And week, in fact. Got our first new world #2 for some time.
Daniil Medvedev, congratulations to the Russian. What a day it is in the rankings, because it's been a long time since a name other than Federer, Djokovic, Nadal and Murray to sit in that #2 spot. You've been digging through the archives, Colin. How long is it?
Yeah, well, it was De Minaur's mentors we discussed, Leighton Hewitt, the last player other than those 4 to be ranked #2 in the world. That was the week of the 18th of July 2005.
Oh, how about that?
That's the kind of tennis that Leighton Hewitt loved to produce, isn't it? I love the way he just whips around the outside of this ball, creating not just the topspin but the side spin, so that the ball's as far away as it can be from Chardy at the net, but hooking into the court when it passes him. Yeah, it's a serious monopoly the big 4 have had on that top 2 ranking spots, isn't it? I mean, 16 years, the best part of 16 years. They've had it wrapped up.
It's incredible, isn't it?
And it was Nadal, that was his breakthrough year, really, 2005. I was looking into it. Hewitt made the semi-finals at Wimbledon, and a couple of weeks later was knocked off the #2 perch. stuff from Chardy there. Yeah, Nadal, that was the year of his first French Open crown. He won 11 titles, 2005, 11. Breathtaking achievement since, of course.
It's been significant for Novak Djokovic as well the last couple of weeks in terms of weeks at #1. It's been another big story, 312 now for Novak. So he has claimed top spot in that respect. He's overtaken Roger Federer in the last couple of weeks. Some significant stories surrounding the ATP rankings the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. Medvedev incidentally on the back of that #2 ranking, winning his 10th title yesterday as well. So a very satisfying 24 hours for the Russian. The second set ticking along nicely on serve, 4-3.
Yeah, Chardy's done a nice job in this second set. 7 winners, 4 unforced errors, compared to 9 winners, 12 unforced errors in the first set. So he really reduced that error count, raised his level to hang with de Minaur, and actually creating some pressure of his own. That pressure will continue to grow with de Minaur serving second in this set. Still needs to do a better job on return, second serve return in particular. Just looking at the numbers, de Minaur 6 from 6 in this set, and he was 4 from 5 in the first. So 91% of second serve points won for Alex de Minaur.
Early evening in Dubai, just gone 8 p.m. First of 2 night matches this evening. Vasek Pospisil from Canada will take on the recent Rotterdam runner-up Marton Fucsovics from Hungary in our final match of the day after this one.
Oh, it's just pinpoint accuracy with the second serve and then the forehand. Look how short this forehand lands in the court. A great zone to hit.
Yeah, that is a sensational backhand. Is he just starting to come to life?
He definitely is. He's in another de Minaur service game here. That's a beauty of a backhand. Straight down the line.
Oh, what a point from both men. Incredible court coverage initially. Chardy throwing the kitchen sink at him.
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? They covered every inch of this stadium court. held his nerve there, but Chardy let that ball pass, didn't he? Had a play on it. Felt it was going long, but that was the key thing. You see there, he took his racket away, and there's the scream and frustration. 15-30, he easily had a play on that volley. Wouldn't have been easy to make, but the chance goes a-begging, and the frustration rolls over into the next point.
First double fault for de Minaur. Chardy yet to engineer a break point in this match. Not too far away. Looked close. Certainly worth a look at this stage of this second set, just to make sure.
Yeah, it's a big point, isn't it? Just a 7th unforced error for de Minaur. It's a costly one, brings up break point for Chardy, his first.
A second serve to have a look at too. We'll be seeing one of those big Chardy forehands. Oh, come on. How good was that?
Well, de Minaur took the risk going with it, the second serve into the forehand. He has used that throughout the match, perhaps feeling Chardy was going to look to run around. But it ended up being into the wheelhouse, and Chardy made no mistake. Couple of bombs later and he's broken through. Here's the second deal, and this is just massive to finish the point. Doesn't matter how quick you are, you're not getting that back.
It was huge, wasn't it, the second one? Have the bravery just to throw caution to the wind on his first break point of the match. All credit to the Frenchman back in this match. Starting to look more and more threatening by the minute. We got a taste of this in Rotterdam, how dangerous the Chardy game can be. If he catches fire, that forehand starts firing, it can be bad news for the opposition.
He's now in that place where he feels like his big hits are getting the job done. It wasn't the case in the first set. First serve was coming back, forehands were coming back. This match is turned around. The power of Chardy is now on top.
Three set points. Well, you said there'd be no panic, Colin, and there hasn't been. That was a very mature, level-headed and ultimately explosive second set from Jeremy Chardy, who just came to life, didn't he, over the last 2 or 3 games, to completely turn this match on its head, heading into a deciding set.
Yeah, great job by Jeremy Chardy. He's turned this match around. Looking back at some of the stats for that second set, much better set for the Frenchman. De Minaur still playing some good stuff, 10 winners, but Chardy there, 11 winners, just 5 unforced errors compared to 12 in the opening set. So evidence, clear evidence that he's raised his game. Service points won 21 out of 26 as well. The first serve really started to do the damage. Look there, winning 83% of first serve points. He was only 50, believe it or not, in the first set. And De Minaur's turn to struggle on his first serve. So Chardy now will be feeling very good about his chances of winning this second round match.
So Jeremy Chardy firmly back in business in this contest. Sensational level he produced towards the end of the second set. One set shootout for a place in the last 16. Some tight matches this year as well, Chardy, when you look at some of those contests he's come through. Beat Fanini and Antalya. 7-6 in the third, deciding breaker. Another deciding breaker against Jan-Lennart Struff in the next round. Another deciding breaker to beat Marin Cilic. That was first round in Melbourne. The ATP 250 though, that was 10-8 in that deciding tiebreak. Saved match points in that one. Mentioned his form in Rotterdam, 3-set win, first round qualifying. He won in 3 second round qualies. He saved match points. Won another deciding breaker against Humbert. That was in the first round in Rotterdam. On it goes, 6-6 against Goffin.
Yeah, that's a good point by De Minaur. Off the back of 2 unforced errors to start the set. Can ill afford to be broken here. He stayed calm. Look at the extra height on that forehand down the line to get the depth. Set up the winner on the backhand. He's got to navigate his way through this game.